Hi and welcome to my channel where I profile clocks in my collection, give some tips and ideas on how to repair and restore clocks. And today I'm working on a Mauthe German clock made in about the 1940s, late 1940s I would say. And this is actually my father-in-law's clock. He's passed away in 2012. The clock, I remember it running when I was a younger man in their house in Amherst, Nova Scotia. In any event, his son asked me if I could work on the clock, get it back to running order. The clock struggled to work when I got it, and it was obvious that it was in need of servicing. So what I've done so far is I've taken the movement out. The movement sits on a seat board, this seat board. And then you open the door and it slides into channel right here on either side, and then you push it back until the movement strike hammers are about 1/8 of an inch away from the 4 tuned rods in the back of the clock case. So I've taken the movement out and I've taken it apart. I've cleaned it in my ultrasonic cleaner, inspected it of course, found that there wasn't really much wear at all. And I determined that it needed maybe upwards of 5 bushings installed in the movement. However, when I dove into the clock a little further, I found that really only 2 were required. The 3 kind of iffy, but I thought, well, I'll leave those alone. If I need to, in 2 or 3 years, get back into the movement itself, then I know that I may have some additional wear, which I can address at that time. Anyway, the clock, as I said, is German. It is 31 inches tall, it's 13.5 inches wide, it's 7 inches deep, so it's a fairly large clock. This is the clock dial itself, and of course the clock dial fits right here, on the other side of the door, of course. It's wound through these little ports right here, and these are called winding points. The pendulum is in really good condition. There's a couple of minor dents in the pendulum, but once the movement is installed in the case, this is hung on the back of the movement, and of course this is springs in the clock provide the motive power for the clock, and this is the pendulum, of course. I've made some progress on the case already. What I've done is I've sanded the case. I've tried not necessarily filling in scratches that were here, 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 and a little bit of wear here, and some of the bottom. But what I've done is I've chosen to sand them lightly and then fill them with a polyvinyl coating. And I'll also apply the polyvinyl coating to the rest of the clock. I know that this may not have been used at the time. These cases were often lacquered, but I think the polyvinyl coating will offer a measure of protection and it will look just as good. So as far as the case is concerned, I've already done some small touch-ups here and there. I've covered some of the case with the polyvinyl coating, which is called Wipe On Poly by Minwax. And then what I'll do is I'll continue applying more coats. The coating is actually wiped on with a rag. Then it's a matter of applying or building up coats to get the desired effect. One of the nice things about the poly coating that I'm using is that it doesn't have as much amber as some other coatings might have, so it's not going to darken the case to any great degree. Then what I'll do is I'll polish the little brass channels between the 5 glass pieces in the case, and I'll touch that up. I can't see anything more that I need to do with the case once I have the movement servicing. At this point, it's I think the cleaning and the bushing work has been done. Just a matter of putting the movement back together, putting it through a testing period, making any adjustments if I need to, and once those testing period is over, then the the movement will go back into the case, and then we'll see how it goes from that point onward. At the end of the day, this is going to be presented back to my brother-in-law, who I hope will proudly display it in his home. Well, as you can appreciate, this is a very satisfying project. Most satisfying thing of all is seeing it on a wall, seeing it ticking away, and striking on the hour-and-a-half hour. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a few things about clock repair and restoration, and please watch my other videos as well.